Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gamestah Heroes of the Storm Ember series. My name is Kit Fox, and it is grand final time as Bogson Jeffries take on MaXiMiSe, two hybrid teams, brand new teams of old players that we've seen throughout this Ember series. But first, before we get stuck into that, we're going to be bringing you the MVP draw that you've been entering all night for the Commander Rainer skin, courtesy of Blizzard ANZ. If you haven't liked them on Twitter, go like them at Blizzard_ANZ. They are supplying the skins that we'll be bringing you over the next couple of weeks. You can enter by typing !MVP in chat. But here we go. We are going to click the magic button now that shakes the cage, if you will, of the raffle. And here we go. The winner of the Commander Rainer skin, courtesy of Blizzard ANZ, is Charicha. Charicha has got him or herself and just so we point out, they're not following the stream, tisk tisk. Charicha has got themselves a Commander Rainer skin, courtesy of Blizzard ANZ. So congratulations, but now it is game on as Bogson Jeffries take on MaXiMiSe. The winner walks away with $50. The loser gets bitter defeat. Skimmy and Starving, it is all yours.
Yeah, indeed. And just before we move on from that, I definitely got to toss out a big shout out to my friend Charicha. You know, real stoked for you, my brother or sister or whatever. But make sure you follow us and, because we give you your skin. You gotta get involved, And
there will be more.
Yeah, there'll be more. You might even win more, mate. So come back, keep winning skins, do whatever you want to do, but make sure you follow the channel. And that goes out to all you of my friends and family out there. Now we do this for you. But well, I've just heard, got word from our old producer, my friend Chris, handsome guy himself, that the person's offline. So, well, why not? We're going to do a reroll. It's been suggested anyway, so I'm gonna give it the go ahead.
He makes the executive call.
Kit Fox, I'm sure you can go along with me on that one.
Oh, there we go, boys. We've gone up for a reroll, and now Big Donga has been drawn, but Big Donga is also not following the stream. So are we just going to go until we get someone who's online? Oh, hang on. No, I've received word that Big Donga is online, but still not following the stream. But Big Donga gets themselves the Commander Rainer skin. So we've got confirmation from the producer. Big Donga, congratulations. You have got yourself the Commander Rainer skin, courtesy of Blizzard ANZ. But now it is game on. Bogson Jeffries versus MaXiMiSe, Skimmy and Starving. Back to you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, it looks like they're pretty ready. And, yep, both teams are ready. So they're keen for the grand finals. Thank you, everyone who's tuned in today to the 4th week of the Ember series. I am starving. I couldn't be more stoked with how this has been turning out. It's been such a good journey with Gamestah. Me and Skimmy jumping on a board, and Kid Fox, he has been lovely. I've never met a man like him. So pat yourself on the back over there, Kid Fox. A great lad you are. Of course, Chris, the old producer, man behind the curtain, or the fly on the wall, whatever you want to call him. He's a good guy as well. So he's going to give me a bit of a talk after this one, of course. But, me and Skimmy, we do what we love, and what we love is casting. So grand finals getting into it. First map banned out, none other than the Garden of Fury.
And it's interesting to note, Starving, because Negative Synergy took out week number 1. Fission then took out week 2 and 3. And here we are in week 4 with both those teams in their hybrid states going up against each other once again. Yeah. So this is almost for bragging rights and almost to try and even the scale, if you will.
So for anyone that doesn't quite realize is that Bogson Jeffries are a combination of Gustin 5 and Negative Synergy.
Yep.
So can you tell us a bit about the roster from Team MaXiMiSe?
Yeah, so MaXiMiSe is a bit of an interesting one. It's originally Fission, but then you got a few of these players that were, Penta was from Gustin 5. We have a few other players like Luminum, once again from Gustin 5 too. But then we got Pocky and Vanilla, which weren't on a team officially. They were on a roster called We Are Not Late from last week.
But they were late.
So they then actually get to show their might. But yeah, an interesting hybrid as these teams have broken up. They've gone to other top-tier squads, and this is the reason both of these teams are here today. On the battlefield of eternity for this grand final best of 1.
Indeed. So the grand final, we are finally here for the 4th time in the last month. Has been so great. Going to harp on about that a bit more. But, the first ban coming out for the side of Bogson Jeffries on Battlefield of Eternity Scheme. I believe the first time we've seen this map today.
Yep.
Great map. But they actually banned up the Li Ming. Li Ming really strong if she chooses to go for the arcane missiles build on this map, I feel, because you've got a big solid target and stationary where you can toss out those arcane missiles. It does a lot of damage quickly, and you can use your other members to kind of go off and slow down the other enemy team.
But Bogson Jeffries is very happy to leave both those wizards out of the picture right now because they go for the interlock first pick Greymane. Honestly, the best map for him, some would say, because you can jump into that Worgen form, you beat away on that Immortal, and you do incredible amounts of damage. But not to be shunned by the fact that now MaXiMiSe are currently hovering Lunara, which also has some interesting talents that can really do great things on this map too.
Indeed, so always exciting to see a bit of Greymane action as well. One of my favorite characters, although admittingly not very good at him. So MaXiMiSe, they come up with their first pick of their own, being Lunara and ETC. So Bogson Jeffries, this is quite interesting because they have 2 picks here. But what's going to happen after this is it's going to go back to MaXiMiSe, I believe, and they'll get their 2 bans. They're followed by their 1 ban back to Bogson Jeffries, and then they'll get their 2 picks. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they decide to ban out here, because after that, obviously, they've got 2 nice picks that they kind of rush back in there with.
But Bogson Jeffries feeling very confident with their picks so far. They're currently shadowing the Falstad, and for great reason too. Ninja playing in an exceptional Falstad last game. They are going to lock that one in, so global pressure is going to be on their side once again for this map too. And Sylvanas is another great pick for this map as well. Obviously, if you pick up that battlefield, or if you pick up that Immortal on this battlefield, you can siege just that much better on through. But they're hovering the Rhaegar right now, which very then nice, begs 2 questions. Do MaXiMiSe then ban out the Sylvanas, or do they pick it themselves?
I think they pick up a Rhaegar there as well, just to kind of, soak their damage a bit better from the Lunara. You talk about it quite a lot, Skimmy, as well. When you've got a heavy melee comp, or even any comp, Lunara is really good at spreading your damage out, quite similar to that of Kael'thas, I guess you could say in that respect. So I really like the Rhaegar pick. We also talk about how strong is your support, probably arguably the strongest at the moment. Very aggressive, nice skill set, and a lot of diversity as well. So pretty good on a lot of maps. But, the second ban that MaXiMiSe, they're taking the time on this one, going into their bonus time pool. So really thinking about this one.
I feel as if they have 2 options. They can either ban out another tank, which is what they're currently hovering. I was thinking either the Muradin or the Robodober.
Yeah.
I mean, I just associate a Nubrak as Robodober. Yeah. They either ban out the Muradin or the Nubrak. They do go for the Nubrak in this case, so they don't want any dive potential to, one, interrupt the ETC, but also to dive on towards that backline. You saw how much work it did last game against Tetris. And then Bogson Jeffries say, we realize that the ETC UFA combination is far too strong, regardless of how we play around it. They ban away the big glowing man.
Yeah, definitely. So very, very strong. Uther and ETC is a combo we all know and hate. Let's be honest, but MaXiMiSe, they're picking up a Sonya. She's also very good on this map because she is such a strong bruiser. She can contend with the likes of pretty much any character. A lot of burst damage. And obviously on Battlefield of Eternity, she can just wail away on that. She can pretty much 1v it and do quite a lot of consistent DPS. And actually managed to drop that by herself while her team distracts. But wow,
this is a very, very strong draft pickup right now by MaXiMiSe. That's another great pick. Sonya, as you mentioned, to do damage on towards that Immortal. But if they do get that snowball lead, like we mentioned, Sylvanas is going to make your day a living hell. Now, Bogson Jeffries instantly respond and they go for the Muradin. They're having none of that whatsoever. Now it's a case, though, of if they go for another Bruiser, or if they're going to go for the hybrid, potentially the Tassadar or even the Tyrande.
Yeah, very interesting. I personally love Sylvanas' pick. Seeing a lot more play over these days as well as when people are catching on to these sort of strats. When you're going on maps like a Battlefield of Eternity, Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, Sylvanas can really.
But look at this, Starving. They say you've got Sylvanas, so we're going to respond with Arthas, and that pretty much, in some cases, to a weaker extent, does the same purpose. If he goes to Sindragosa, which might be the case,
I think it is.
It's going to be very scary. And you saw how Falstad play. I'm just thinking in my head right now, a Gust into a Sindragosa.
Oh wow! But wait a minute,
it's going to be scary.
But look at this, they're actually hovering a Rexar now as well. And I believe there's one person in particular that really loves their Rexar. Was it Rob?
I think so. I mean, Rob just, I think Rob is just a tank.
Yeah. So he really, wow. Okay, just completely changing that up. Picking up the Zero Tools. So, yeah, very, very strong pick indeed. It's not something that we actually see a whole lot of these days. It was very, very prominent back just after the alpha and that sort of thing, early beta.
It sees play not as much as it used to back in the day, but definitely sees play in situational circumstances. But I think they've changed their mindset, their game plan to a degree. Rather than have another tanky beef to sort of lead the charge, you can have that Zeratul just to snipe out one of those squishies like Lunara or Sylvanas, negate what they're trying to do. And I think he's going to be more of an annoyance when they're actually fighting those Immortals. He's going to be there to try and sort of deter their attention.
Yeah, definitely. It can slow down the kind of potential that they have as well with ETC. If he goes in for a mosh, maybe they want to chuck down a quick VP. Falstad can then reposition for a gust and can completely save his team. So there's so many things that they can do with a Zero tool. But wow, they're now hovering the Karazim. So it's kind of like a similar pick to that of Uther in regards to the Divine Shield, or in this case, the Divine Palm. So how Divine Palm works essentially is that you can bring yourself back to life if you drop below the threshold, which happens to be 0%.
The interesting thing with this is because he does a great job, Karazima, a lot of AoE healing, but I'm just wondering at level 4 if he's going to go for the foresight. So if he dashes on somebody, he's going to reveal that area. If it's a target to pick towards the Zero tools so they don't get sniped as easily, or if he's just going to go for the standard between Protective Shield and Healing Ward. We'll have to find out, but we'll see. Both the drafts have been completed. We're going to make a lobby in just a second, but Starving, as always, what draft do you prefer?
At the moment, I really want to say I'm looking forward to MaXiMiSe000's comp. We haven't actually seen them play today either, and it's like Kip Fox mentioned while we're early on in the draft and that sort of thing talking before. I got to say that, I'm always keen to see new teams, and this is a combined roster as well, so always excited to see it. I love Lenara being played. She's been receiving a lot of play, more so in this tournament or these weekly tournaments than I've seen in any other sort of tournament I've casted since her release as well. So I'm not sure if that's just the players, giving me and you a bit of love, Skimmy, and just saying, they like casting some of the, Lenara games. Get back involved in that. Who's to know? So, I'm thinking MaXiMiSe. I really want them to pull through with this one.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they are a stronger hybrid team, if you will.
Yeah.
That would mean, in a sense, they've actually won 3 weeks in a row, if you count that to a certain degree. But, definitely Bogson Jeffries will have something to say about that. Everybody is just about to join into this lobby, and then we're going to have a grand final right underway for you.
Yeah, definitely. So, man, I'm excited. So, Kip Fox, I mean, what do you have to say about this? Have you got any predictions before the fight starts or what the game starts off here?
Tell you what, Bogson Jeffries had me really excited when they were hovering Arthas for that 10 or so seconds there. I really love me some Arthas. But tell you what, Twitch chat is a little bit split. We got a couple calls for Bogson, couple for MaXiMiSe, but you're right. MaXiMiSe do look a little bit better on paper than Bogson Jeffries. Zeratul was an interesting pick. It was a little bit out of the blue. We haven't really seen much of him throughout this Ember series, let alone in the past couple of weeks. But, they just look a lot more solid to MaXiMiSe.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's just be honest here, Kip Fox. Anyone can be right. Me and Skimmy can be right. You could be right. All the viewers could be right. We're just going to have to wait and see. So we're jumping into the game here. We'll see you very soon. And for the winner of that skin as well, I will see you very soon. Sorry about the delay for that skin there, but we'll get that to you. Don't you worry, my friend. But, man, we're jumping into it, Skimmy. Face first, this is the grand final for Week 4 of Ember Series. We have on the left-hand side Team MaXiMiSe, the hybrid team number 1. We see Demise playing Sonya, Lahal playing Karazim, Vanilla playing Sylvanas, Pocky playing Lenara, and Penta on ETC. And
on the right-hand side is Bogson Jeffries also looking to try and redeem themselves by taking out the Fission hype train. Robodoba playing Murden, Arcana on Rhaegar. We have KVA playing Greymane. Benjamin 94 is on the Zeratul, and Ninja is on the Falstad.
Once again, he's on the Falstad. So, just like Gustin 5, it wouldn't be them without the Falstad. So they're grabbing that and they're doing their thing. But, wow, I'm really glad this is the final game here today, Skimmy. We were talking about this earlier as well. The two hybrid teams going face-to-face. Definitely going to be a bit of bad blood, bit of good blood as well. All of these players, ladies and gentlemen, known each other for such a long time. And, we've had the pleasure of knowing them ourselves as well for such a long time. So I couldn't be happier myself. Very happy to be here tonight in the grand final. How hype are you feeling?
I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm just really curious to see how Benjamin 94 plays this Zeratul, as they were hovering between those two tanks, but they went for this one in the end. So I'm feeling as if his execution is really going to be make or break when it comes to fights.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to see Zeratul as well. That I've actually had to fight a whole lot since free. I didn't really like Invers because you play a quick match. You go double Invers, mate, and you just end up hating it a lot.
Definitely, if you do burst over in Zeratul match, it's the most compelling argument to tell your friends to play this game as well.
Yeah, definitely not. They'll probably just quit and then straight away. So, a bit of a tussle in the top. We actually see Benjamin going up against Sonya in top lane. So I believe Sonya will actually have a bit of a better time up against that Zeratul there. But actually, interestingly enough, we do see a couple of talent level 1 being picked up there. Anything but there's going to be
basically block on both sides with Sonya and Zeratul, so there's a lot of players in the game that want to take too much damage from negative. That's Zeratul. As you can see here, it's not very good for the trees, as you mentioned. He's just going to be there to float and try and bait out ganks.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a smart play, but wow, look at the bot lane now as Arcana and Robodoba are pretty low. Looks like they had a bit of an intense training there as Pocky, you know, absolutely putting in worth. Arcana a bit of a cheeky B in the middle of the lane there, and they just did not allow that for one moment. But wow, he is going to back now and just run on back to the bottom lane with his Wolf. Caviar actually opting to go back as well just before the Immortal spawns. So
I feel as if for level 1 at least, Bogson Jeffries should have the slighter lead in terms of power spiking for taking this one out, as they do have Greymane by default with that kit available to him, whereas this game scale on both Sylvanas and Lahal on Lunara will have talents the ability to empower the damage, but here goes Gamestah, and they already getting knocked as well as Arcana actually getting taken over the fight. Starts off Benjamin jumping straight into some pretty aggressive stance right here as he just keep taking Nara, and look at like taking that as well. Robodoba trying to jump out there as fast as he can. He does actually manage to get up, but the eyes is close on his tail. Is he on his head? Robodoba's just completely aware of what's going on. Simply walks away. It looks like yeah, Team MaXiMiSe actually came out on top of that first model, and probably be able to get this one. They blew that there too, trying enough. Rob got out there.
So quickly, I'm afraid. So very, very sad to see him pass away in that fight. But wow, look at the damage scheme. You were 100% right about the Greymane. And absolutely pump out the damage, but he wasn't even there. It's just, you know, the pure will. So, you know, they actually managed to get pretty close to getting that. And wow, absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I mean, at least until level 7, I feel as if Bogson Jeffries should have the advantage. And they definitely need to have the advantage because they do not want to get collapsed upon by the Sylvanas push. If they do get that, it's going to be a bit of a rough time for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm really surprised they managed to get that Immortal there because they were quite behind for some time in terms of the damage, but they even lost Greymane to an exchange, but they just punched on and managed to get that Immortal just in the nick of time. But of course, it's going to have really little to no shields. And yeah, it's just not looking too hot at the moment for the side of MaXiMiSe, as they are in about a half of XP level disadvantage.
Yeah, so they're going to leave basically the standard lane matchups again, but Sonya's already gone for the rotate. Benjamin 94 in hot pursuit too. He's going to come in through. He's spotted 3 members. He's deep behind enemy lines. He's forced to actually pop that whirlwind quite early on to keep the sustain up. Penta Unleashed jumps on in there with the power slide, but the team is split right now. Bogson Jeffries 2 bot, 3 to the side, and the rest of MaXiMiSe, well, they can't find a kill target, so they just collapse and disappear.
Yeah, really like how patient they're being, though. Zeratul doesn't want to get too involved in anything just yet, doesn't want to go too deep, and I think after that last tussle they had as well, KVA actually noticing that, look, we can get blown up very quickly, we need to be very careful about how we go about this. And as we look now towards the bottom lane, we do actually see an easy camp being capitalized on for MaXiMiSe. So they're probably going to be able to, you know, grab that pretty easily without any contention there. And Penta actually power slides on out of that aggression there.
Yeah, so both supports actually picking up Healing Ward here. So it's an interesting choice. You know, the idea of possibly Foresight being taken by Karazim to reveal any invisible players was merely a theory. It's not going to actually come to fruition this time around, but the fight is going to break out. Power Slide goes in towards Arcana. There goes the dash as well. Arcana taking a big beating. Poison damage is coming across. He's down to 200. Is the sustain going to be enough? He does get the tap on the well as the Healing Wall comes across from blue side, looking to keep the rest of them up. Demise is coming across now. There goes the Power Slide as well as the damage. Wow. And it is enough to take up the bird.
Yeah, the blue boys, they're certainly feeling comfortable here. The red boys are running over to try and silence them there. But Bogson Jeffries, you know, they've lost themselves one member there, and they're not actually able to come back in that fight, but so low. Both healing wards being so effective there, but you know, they managed to pick that fight. Almost level 10 is coming up pretty soon, the next few minutes, and the next set of immortals are spawning. So the pair of them, I should say, going to be pretty interesting to see how it goes now that level 7 has been obtained. So this is when the whole dynamic of the game does change. But wow, look at this. Here comes Ninja with a flying Demise, certainly going down here. There's no escape for him.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest, but look at the damage already being pumped out onto the Immortal. Nice prompt response by MaXiMiSe after losing a a team member after this as well. But wow, look how aggressive they're being. Nice jump in by Penta.
And smart plays actually by Bogson Jeffries, as we mentioned in the draft. They've left their Greyman on there, taking it out because he does so much damage on his own, and they've actually collapsed on towards Sylvanas, the main target they want to get rid of because of this level 7 talent in particular. Barb shot, 200% extra damage to the Immortal itself. So definitely had to get him out of the equation and allow Greyman to do his job to a T. There goes Penta though, coming in with a big slide.
Yeah, indeed. So Penta definitely making the most of those power slides, just trying to disrupt the enemy force as best he can. But Greyman's been doing such a great job of just wailing away onto the Immortal, kind of matching up the damage being done actually. So, yeah, certainly going to be feeling very, very pressure maximizers in this sort of situation as KVA. He's really just looking to, well, for a distraction so he can just walk off and do his own thing. Penta taking damage onto Benjamin 94 and Robodoba forced to take off. But wow, Penta, you're a tank. I think not, my friend. He does get taken out very, very promptly and Robodoba is forced to back off. Here comes Ninja flying back in and a boomerang comes tossed out. Lahal is so low and is actually forced to back out here. And Vanilla dodging that stun very, very nicely. Only 2 members left of the Blue Boys now as they have to back off, and Team MaXiMiSe probably going to miss out on this Immortal, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, expect once again Greyman and Ray got to split off. They've actually got Benjamin 94 there as well, and actually Ninja on his own is actually slow defending this one. They've got Demise coming in here. He's very low though, but he's doing his best to try and sustain both with that ferocious healing. But he doesn't actually have the war paint too, so that's his only sustain. Oh, aggressive barrel roll with the boomerang coming out to try and pick up the kill. He could have done it, but he's paid for his sins now. Penta comes in for the flank, gets the power slide, gets the kill, but it might be too little too late. Yet the Immortal's been picked up.
Yeah, I mean, got very aggressive there. Didn't actually pay off for him, unfortunately, because he did get picked. I was just conversing with Skimmy as he was talking, actually, and said probably not going to live through that, and then sure enough, he did die. So they are very, very promptly responding to this. Though MaXiMiSe is already up there dealing with this Immortal. Look how little worth it's actually got, so I really, really like that.
And an interesting thing, Starving, is no cleanse is being picked up by Karazim, so he's looking to try and sustain people a little bit longer, but definitely if somebody gets locked down with both a Zeratul Bomb or even a Muradin Stormbolt, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, you're going to have a bad time, but look at this, they're actually only sent 2 members down so far, so I think they can afford to be a bit more chill about this. Gus being used pretty nicely there as Benjamin is going to rock up right next to Lenara. Very nice VP, but how are they going to go about this? Wow, Benjamin really, really hyper aware of what was going on there. KVA does go down, but they do really trade the 1v1, well, the 1-4-1, I should say, so they're simply going to back off, and I think that is the smart move there.
Yeah, brilliant play there by Benjamin once again. As we said, this is the reason that Zeratul was picked up to take out the squishies. It's either Sylvanas or Lunara, and you know the big Void Prism came across so nobody could jump on towards the Zeratul, and he sniped off that Sylvanas for free. But the engagement is not over this yet. Arcana goes in for the camp, but you know a healing ward is not going to be enough sustain when you got 4 members punching on.
Yeah, definitely just got a bit too overconfident there as he was walking around in his own sort of territory, but to no avail. But here comes KVA. They might be able to make something of this. This is a 4v4, but Zeratul is very, very pressured now, and he is forced to back out. Robodoba is still tanking that camp and trying to stay on top of it, but no, he's probably going to get taken out so quick. Look at that lovely ETC ultimate coming out on to just KVA. Ninja forced to pop the Gust, but actually picking up that hard cam as well, so quite a bit of worth coming out of that. I guess you can say Pocky's so low, but Benjamin is not going to allow that to happen. Lahal's also so low as well. But Ninja, you know, he's playing it so risky right now, just trying to get any kill that they can.
And those are the sort of plays you can make on a Zeratul. And this is exactly why they picked it. They're making the plays, and he's actually showing you why this pick is so good. But, you know, that Gust as well actually separated the entire team, allowing Benjamin to do that. Not to mention allowed them to pick up the Shaman camp, which is the best camp on this map specifically. So that's why they put so much value towards it.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of cheeky bands going out in the chat there, but make sure everybody, yeah, you know, you look out for your MVP so they can go into the draw to win the MVP Plantronics HD 500 headset. So, you know, toss out your comments in chat. Who's the best player? Who do you reckon? It's all up to you. But, you know, the Immortals have spawned now. We are going to see all these players kind of converge around their respective Immortal and try and drop it down as best we can. Most likely going to see Greymane just hitting away on his, but no, he's actually part of the group here, trying to get as much harass as he can. Benjamin getting dropped so dangerously low. He does actually go down. Not the person you want to lose so early on the fight, with that VP being so crucial. And look at KVA getting taken out as well. So Pocky doing such a great job of being aggressive here.
Yeah, and actually preemptively pops the palm on him as well, but Pocky does not get that triggered. He does actually get out with his life as well. He's gone for the recall, and he's going to come back in just a second. But the rest of MaXiMiSe a 4-man squad are now beating on towards Bogson's Immortal. And you got Rob there on the side trying to actually find an opportunity where he can, but he can't right now. Ninja clearing the lane, doing his best to try and even the tides out. The minions and the mercenaries in the top lane have been wiped out, and the halftime point has been triggered by MaXiMiSe.
Yeah, and I'm sure now they have to play this so careful, as anything can happen at this point. They are going to be looking for this capture of the Immortal here. So all the cooldowns are mostly up, except for Greymanes, which is going to be up in 15 seconds. Mosh coming up now as well. Robodoba already being dropped very low, but the VP being used. So let's see how they handle this here. Robodoba still on the front lines, and Benjamin as well, receiving the Ancestral Spirit, as Penta and Lahala already dropped quite low. No Ancestral Spirit for Robodoba there. Nice Gust being used to disable the fight, and Boomerang coming out to lay in the damage. Benjamin using the opportunity with the Boomerang to get himself a kill. One more squishy is in the lines as well, and look how they converge around here. This is probably where we're going to see them take away this fight. Bogson Jeffries not slowing down for a moment here, as Wailing Arrow has been used, but no, they are going to back off here and just simply go down back to their Immortal.
And once again, just the execution there from Bogson was beautiful. Rob just took as much damage as possible, then baits them all that. They still chase for Rob as he does the Dwarf and Toss. The Gust comes across, splitting everybody apart from Demise, and they pick up the kill on Demise. A solo Strangler, and it doesn't look like they're over this yet. They're going to still go for that Rob kill, and they do find it.
Oh, wow. But look at this. We actually see Pocky getting dropped so low as well. Stasis, actually, with the Divine Palm, bringing him back to life. So, wow, what a play. Actually, completely outplaying Bogson Jeffries there, as they actually were trying to dive onto the back of Pocky. But, man, I really got to comment on the hull with that Divine Palm there. Very nicely timed, and understanding that Pocky is probably one of the biggest threats.
Absolutely. And it's exactly what we're saying in draft. Once again, just to reiterate that point any further, you need to annihilate the squishies as quickly as possible, because those are the ones that have the most impact right now. Sure, Sonya is going to do a lot of damage if you leave her up, but she's a tanky hero. She's a warrior by nature. And now this is a healthy Immortal, where at 13 minutes into this game, they've got an Immortal with a 50% shield, if you will, and they've got Sylvanas, like we mentioned. This is the pressure that comes out of it. This Immortal is going to stay tanky for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come back from this Bogson Jeffries once found themselves as the aggressors in this particular game. But now they are on the back foot with a 1-level disadvantage. So we're going to have to wait and see how they do here. A lot of pressure coming out from the Zero Tool there, as he pops in and out, trying to get as much damage as he can. Demise dropped about sub 50% now, going to slowly heal himself up, and Wailing Arrow being used quite preemptively, I must say, in this fight. Benjamin trying to do as much damage as he can to Pocky, but with that movement speed on her feet, she is going to be so aggressive. And wow, Skimmy, look at the worth of this Immortal.
Yeah, so Benjamin 94 is coming around from the side once again. He's going to try and look for the snipe. Greater Spell Shield has been picked up by Pocky, so he's not going to look to try and go for that anymore, but Vanilla has no Wailing Arrow anymore, so it's interesting to see who he's going to decide to go for. The Immortal is now towards the core. It's actually towards the keep, I should say. There goes the big VP. They're on towards Pocky, but he jumps into it. The rest of the team, Bogson Jeffries, are still posturing around. This Immortal is still really healthy, and that alone looks like it could actually take out this keep. They're still going towards it. Gus gets chucked out, but no collapse comes across. This keep is a goner. Penta goes on towards KVA. There goes the healing wall. The big Ancestor, but an even bigger mosh pit.
Yeah, definitely connecting with 3 members there, actually locking out the whole side of Bogson Jeffries. This looks really bad for Bogson Jeffries in this sort of position here. They got no much worth out of their VP. Wow, look at that! Oh, Vanilla receiving the Divine Palm, and Benjamin being so aware.
This is GG.
But yeah, that is definitely GG. They've called it. And Bogson Jeffries not going to be able to take this one away. MaXiMiSe taking away the grand final. GG's have been called, Skimmy. What a game. But wow.
And this is exactly what we were saying. Honestly, as soon as Sylvanas gets that,
yeah,
you win. Like, it's ridiculous. You saw that push there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times they lost.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times they were behind. If they win one Immortal, that Sylvanas push alone is detrimental.
Oh, and it's just, it proves what we've been talking about all night, Skimmy. You get one push, just like you said. You push on him with your boss or your Immortal, your Punisher, your John Cena, whatever it may be.
Yep.
And it's going to absolutely wreak havoc. So we'll have a quick look over the damage. Sylvanas, my lord, she is doing so great. 45,000 damage there in terms of hero damage on Sylvanas. And Ninja on Falstad doing 51,000. So putting in absolute work. And post-game chat, they're going absolute ham, calling GGs left, right, and center. Looks like the people are happy. Kit Fox, is there any MVP suggestions for the game that just happened in the grand final?
So, boys, there seems to be a couple of calls coming out. Demise is getting a little bit of love in the Twitch chat. And, there's a couple of trolls going in there as well. But there's one for Demise. I'm not quite sure on that one. Didn't play too bad on the Sonya. What do you think?
I'd probably have to say, to be honest, just looking over that again, I really think I don't want to put it on Sylvanas because it's more just to do with the pick. I would say the pick of Lunara, Pocky playing that Lunara so well. We saw the damage being so high, and in fact, just falling short of Sylvanas. Every time we saw Greymane trying to get aggressive, we saw Benjamin trying to get aggressive. She was on point. And, Lahal as well with the Divine Palms, just really maximizing those. Every time I saw one come out, it was perfect. So, I mean, for me personally, it would probably have to be between Pocky and Lahal.
Yeah, it's pretty much to reiterate my thoughts as well. I mean, as much as Bogson Jeffries played that one really well, I was really impressed, especially with Benjamin 94's Zeratul when it came to fruition and did its job. But definitely Lunara was causing Bogson a fair chunk of difficulties, and Lahal sometimes popping the Divine Palm very early, but he could almost predict that this damage was going to come across. But when it did need to be popped, it was there at the right time. So I mean, we're a bit of a conflict ourselves. We'll pass it back to KitFox just once more to see if there's any other input. Otherwise, we have to make a decision.
Yeah.
No, there's not really much other in the chat, boys. There are GGs going all around, though, but what a game. Congratulations to the MaXiMiSe boys. Bogson put up one hell of a fight. But Pocky is the other nomination. So they seem to be siding with you, Starving. So I'll throw it back to you, and you can make the call.
You know what? I'm going to take the executive decision once more, and I'm going to call it for Pocky. Really love the Lunara play. Every time we see it, it just always seems to be so good and put in so much work. So, Pocky, congratulations, my friend. You're going to the draw to win yourself a Plantronics Rig 500 HD headset at the end of the Fire and Ice series. So make sure you keep in tune for the next week coming up of the Ember series week 5. It's been fantastic being with you. Skimmy, me and, we enjoy ourselves, don't we?
Absolutely. And, we're looking forward to another month of Ember Series action as we try and grow and develop the scene just a little bit further, give you some prize money as well as some sweet, cool prizes for your competitive heroes experience.
Yeah, so we'll pass it back over to KitFox, who can sign you off and all that sort of hoo-ha. Thanks, guys.
Well done, boys. Great broadcasting as usual. That was Skimmy and Starving in New Zealand signing out for the night. We've seen some amazing games tonight. We saw 2 new teams go head-to-head in the grand final. It was Bogson Jeffries going up against Team MaXiMiSe, and MaXiMiSe were too strong in the end. They came out on top, and they are walking away $50 richer, courtesy of Gamestah. So once again, a big shout out to you, the viewers in Twitch. I hope you enjoyed the skin giveaway, courtesy of Blizzard ANZ. We'll be giving away another skin next week. We're still undecided which one we're going to choose, but some of those skin codes, they are amazing. So they'll be given out over the coming Ember series, but just recapping, the victors of Week 4 Gamestar Heroes of the Storm Ember series was MaXiMiSe. They defeated Bogson Jeffries on Battlefield of Eternity. My name is KitFox, and on behalf of our producer, Crisis, we're going to bid you a good night, farewell, and we'll see you next week.